So today I would like to answer a common question that I get asked, which is, what do I do if my binge eating urges persist? I try to distract myself, I try to go for a walk, I try to have maybe a hot bath, but nothing is happening. And I still feel like there's this urge and it's building up and it gets to a point where I just want to act on it. I just want to release it. And I know once I've eaten, I will feel bitter. And I really want to break this down because I really want for you to understand that even though it feels like you are making yourself feel more comfortable in that moment and you just want this urge to go away by eating, you're actually not making it easier for yourself. You're actually not really giving yourself that comfort. It feels like it is because your thoughts are gone for that moment, but it's just only really for that second, right? And it's back, and then it actually follows with all those heavy feelings of guilt and shame and disappointment and discouragement. So we're telling ourselves in that moment, oh, if I only binge, this tension inside of me will go away. But that's not the truth. It is just not the truth, and this tension will not go away. Actually, it's gonna get worse after that, and we need to remind ourselves about that. And I know that most people say, well, I know that it's gonna will feel bad, and I really don't want to do that, but I'm still doing that. It's like any habits. Let's say if someone wants to stop smoking or wants to stop drinking, it's like any other habits that we have developed. That urge will keep coming back because it is part of us, because our brain sends us, and I really want you to hear this clearly. Your brain sending you a false message. It's that survival part of your brain, it's the back of your brain sending you that false message that you need that for survival. Your body is in a fight and flight mode, and it believes that you need that for survival. It feels not comfortable, and it will not feel comfortable. And the idea of seeking comfort is wrong, because yes, it is uncomfortable. Yes, it is building that up. When that urge builds up, it feels uncomfortable, and we really want it to go away, but it won't. Okay, it won't feel comfortable. But the less we act on it, the faster the brain will understand that we don't need to binge, we don't need food in that amount of food to survive. The more we act, as long as we act on it, the more we are feeding that same habit, the more we're feeding that same urge. So what we need to do is to separate ourselves from those urges and understand that this is not even you. And watching this, observing it from a distance, understanding this is not me, this is not even a part of me, this is just my brain sending me those false messages, and it's confused. The brain is confused, and you as a rational part, which is that frontal lobe of your brain, it knows the truth. It knows that you don't need that amount of food to survive. And so going through that time, you are riding this out, and while you're separating, while you are observing that urge as something fully separately from yourself, there will be moments where it will be coming back. It will feel very overwhelming. It will feel so much stronger, and then it will get easier. It will go, as I imagine it, it will go to the back of you. So I always give that example to my clients. Imagine you are driving a bus. You are at the front of this bus, and there is this annoying, very loud kid at the back of the bus, and this kid comes over to the front and almost even wants to take over the bus. That is your urge. It wants to take over your life. It wants you to act on it. It's like this kid that is trying to take over this bus. But you are the one. You are the driver of this bus. You're the driver of your life that makes decision. That is that frontal part of your brain that makes decision and sends that annoying kid urge to the back of the bus. So what you can imagine is you're sending it to the back. It is there. We're not even trying to make it go away at this stage, okay? We are just separating ourselves. This is not even you. It's this annoying thing that is there, and we can send it to the back of the bus. It is there. It's still talking to us, but it's quieter because it's further away. We can't hear it. Sometimes it comes back to the front and it's really loud in our ear and wants to talk to us. It wants to take over. But it's you who makes this decision. You are not going to take over my bus. That's my bus. It's my life. I do what I want. And then sending back. And it can be a while until kind of this annoying thing sits longer at the back. We're not even aiming to never come back, because what if we even make peace that we will keep binge eating from time to time? What if we could even give ourselves that permission that we do it from time to time? Maybe once a month, maybe once in half a year, but the idea is that it will maybe never fully go away. But what if we could allow ourselves to do that? So this annoying kid is at the back of the bus. We know it's there, and sometimes it comes forward and sometimes it goes back. But it's there, it is quieter, and it's not as overwhelming, and it's not trying to take over our life. So we separate ourselves, and then we are sending it back and forth, and watching it, really observing it. And then the less we act on it, the less power it has over us. And this is how we then slowly rewire, reprogram the brain, because we are not acting on it. And remember what I always say, what fires wires. So when we act on it, it wires it. So we are making this connection in the brain stronger. The less we act on it, the weaker it becomes, and at some point it will be very, very weak, and it might happen from time to time. It might never happen again. We don't know. But for now, we're just trying to act less and less on it, and separating ourselves from those urges. And at some point, trust that it will get less and less. So, and also what I would like to add is, when we go back to just talking about binge eating in general, we need to remember the main triggers that are causing it is not eating enough. Okay, not eating enough, and then the brain basically believes that we need that for survival. So the most basic thing that I really need for you guys to think about is that you eat enough and adequate meals. So going back to balanced diet framework, that we have regular meals, that we eat enough, that we eat all food groups, protein, carbohydrates, fats, and don't let ourselves starve. So even food that we enjoy, and even food that we tend to binge on, that we integrate that into our daily diet, or at least regularly, so we don't feel deprived. Because restricting, not eating enough, having food rules, that is the biggest reason. This is the biggest trigger for our binges as well. So going back to balanced diet framework and going through it, making sure that you eat adequately. So the two things, basically, to summarize this video: One is learning to separate yourself from the urges, observe them as a bus driver back and forth. You're the bus driver, and this urge is like this annoying kid. This is not you. This is just faulty messages of your brain. And this is one. And the second one is eating adequately, eating enough. So going back to balanced diet framework, if you need to go through this framework again, have a look, make sure that you are eating enough. And if you don't know about my balanced diet framework self-study online program, well, I'm gonna add the link below. It's a very short, quite short online program that you can do in your own time that teaches you exactly when, what, why, and how much and why to eat, so you can really reduce your food cravings and also reduce or even eliminate your binge eating urges. Because like I said, most of the time the reason why we are binge eating, there is the psychological side, but there's actually also the physiological side, which is we're actually just not eating adequately. We're not eating enough. We are skipping meals. We have food rules. We're cutting out food groups. So in this program, I have developed a framework that has really helped me to overcome binge eating and feeling really satisfied and feeling good, and to a point that I don't even need to think about food and don't worry about food. And I see the same with my clients, and that's why I thought, well, it's time to put that into a self-study online program, that you also have access to this program and can do that in your own time, have access to it for as long as you need, so you can keep coming back and rewatch this program, rewatch these videos. There are content-packed 8 videos that you get, resources, printables like shopping lists, like food diary, meal planner and nourishment plan. So all the resources that you need to be successful with your eating, so you feel in control around food, and so that eating comes really naturally and easily to you as it's supposed to be. So the link is below, have a look, and it's only $40, $39.99. So yeah, easy, accessible for everyone, because I really care and I really want to support you.